away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
2, 1.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? I hope you're all staying warm, staying dry, enjoying your weeks so far. David Villa! Hola, bien amigo. Cass, Outdoor Wally, Jason AU. Bigfoot Prospecting, how are you doing, Matt? Banshee Mining, good to see you. Julie, Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator, good to see you. Heath Dottie, how are you? Doty, sorry, buddy. Ha! Good to see you. Better burp it and taste it than fart it and waste it, I guess. That Reuben still tastes good. I know, bad, huh? Aurora, Golden New Zealand's in the house. Good to see you. Full of gold. Good to see you, Caleb, our down under mate. Secret Creek Prospecting. Always good to see you, Kirk. Evergreen Prospectors in the house. How are you doing? Good to see you. It's good to see each and every one of you in the house tonight. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, share it. Stay around for the whole show. That'd be totally awesome. Carson Prospecting in the house. Hey, dude, Carson, were your ears burning? I was talking about you earlier. Good to see you, brother. Charlie Moe. Charlie Moe. Why does that? Charlie Moe. Didn't you have the bucket, Charlie? I like that bucket if you're the same Mo that did that, made that bucket. Yeah, Jason liked that shirt. Nice. A really cool guy I know. Flower Gold Wizard gave it to me. Simo Gold. Good to see ya. I love the bucket. I love it. West Coast Prospecting, Damon, good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Uh, hey, Brian Wilder's in the house. How you doing? Mitch, Graveyard Prospecting, good to see you. Good to see each and every one of you. Tonight's my guest, he's actually a return guest here on Tuesday Night Hangout Live. A gentleman I finally got to meet on the river. I really like his editing style, his adventures, the gold he gets. He's one of the sons of the Motherlode, I guess you could call him. He's a California boy from the Motherlode country, and great guy, great prospector. Um, I was really blown away. I didn't get the whole scoop on. I think it was Top Cat that reached out to Jerry, but maybe we'll get more in on that. But these guys, Jerry, Top Cat, several others, JT, I think his name is, and and oh, there were a lot of people there. Damon, I met Damon that weekend, but they put together a meet and greet on the South Yuba when Toledo Jazz Dano and I went to the Motherlode, and we had a great time. Had great time visiting and meeting new people, enjoying Mother Yuba, and didn't run into too many naked men, thank God, but I'll leave that for another show. But I, I did catch a glimpse of a nice French girl, though. But it was a great time. Otis Ferris came down from Washington. Great time. But this guy, I finally getting him back on the show. He's really busy now. So with no more further ado, I'm gonna quit jabbing and get on with this and get back and get Jerry into this conversation too. So don't go away. We'll be back with Motherlode Gold Prospectors.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
That's cheating, Jerry. You're not supposed to shine up your coin, man.
Oh, I wish someone would have told me that because my coin would have been like probably one of the cooler ones. It had so much patina going on. It was like a rainbow, like all kinds of colors on it and stuff.
Oh, if Dano's watching at work, he's been working ridiculous Dano hours. But if he's watching or listening at work and heard you cleaned up your LBPA coin, you know, what Dano says, he wants nut sweat on it and in your pocket all the time to get that really
Oh man,
beautiful patina. I think if I remember right, you had it in a plastic sleeve for a
I
while
did
too.
for a while. Oh yeah, and then I took it out and I messed up because I had the patina going for sure. It was looking pretty. I literally cleaned it right before I messaged you, like what, half an hour ago or so.
Right.
So yeah,
That's
I messed up,
funny. Shame on
but I
you.
got it.
Yeah, you'll get it looking beautiful in no time with that patina. Terry Curry in the house. How you doing? Ert Radio, Don G, GoPro Unlimited. Can't forget Jeff.
Looking at the chat too here. You see me looking down. Cool. Figure this out. I
Matt,
got a
good to
better
see you
connection.
too, Bigfoot. Heath, are you trying to sell your Morgans in my live chat, buddy? That will cost you a Carson City. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, Jerry, it's good to have you back with us on Tuesday night Hangout Live. And again, thank you for that awesome meetup on the South Yuba when we
That's
were
right.
out there. That was such a
That
great
was
trip.
fun.
I wish we were able to get out more too than that one day, but yeah, Gino from Reno, a star-studded cast was there, you know. Was
Yeah, we had the chef
JC
with us.
was JC
JC
there?
wasn't there. No, he wasn't
Okay,
there on
who
that
was
one.
the one working the death cave?
Was he there then? He might have been. Well, no, I don't. He could have been there, but I don't think he was.
I really don't remember the mine in Hawaiian being there. And Tim, I didn't meet up with
Yeah,
him until later in the week.
yeah, it might have been someone else. I remember we dug a cave to put all the beer in to keep it cool, like under a big
Well,
rock.
I was looking at the video because I was trying to take some shorts from the one of the meet and greet, and um, Jesse was working around some boulders, and there was a death cave by some big boulders a little downstream from where Jesse had a sluice and stuff, and he was working in that. I know I was upstream a bit, like where we talked for a little bit, and then I went across river with Top Cat and Gino, and on that
Yeah,
the north side of the river. Oh, I don't remember his name. I'll have to look on the gold pan out of my shed.
yeah. I think I made a video of that trip. Probably watch that and figure it out. But I don't remember. I don't remember JC being there. I don't really remember
I don't
anything
think
other
I've
than the
met
beer
the
thing.
I don't think I've met mine in Hawaiian yet.
Okay.
Other than Tim. I so but the other mine in Hawaiian. But yeah, but Bedrock Bennett was there, and I want to.
That sounds right.
Owie, who? What's
Oh yeah, Ollie.
Ollie Bennett's
Yeah, his
cousin?
cousin. Yeah, he was there. Barry the River Chef was there,
Oh
and then you
yeah,
guys, and
the food
and
Barry
Todd.
made was great. Yeah, but
Was Gary there on that trip? I don't think so.
I don't think
I'm not-
Gary
no.
was actually on that trip, or Jeff, but we went up to Gold Mountain with Jeff and Two Toes, and we hiked out of that valley with an ounce and a quarter of gold. My take that day was three really nice nuggets, 5.4 grams.
Wow.
It was a good day.
That is a good day.
I spent a long
That
time
is
on
good.
that crack, and it paid off. Uh, I think I think Top Cat got like 7 nuggets. Uh, Gary, of course, found gold before we even made it down to the river.
Just how it goes.
Uh,
That's normal.
yeah, yeah.
Normal day.
Then I went back up with him, and I was working a ridge, and he's working this other spot, and he found a nice picker like 10 feet from me, and I'm finding boot tacks and stuff. And then I'm like, have fun, Gary. I'm going back down and hit some crevices. So I Two Toes gave us a nice assortment of crevice tools when we met up, and put them to good use. Um, I
Gave me
think
some too.
Dano got frustrated. He found 1 nugget. Toledo just found 3 nuggets. Todd, I think, found 7 nuggets. And uh, uh, me and Dano were using Noxes, and he thought he could get a signal on the side of the coil. So he'd be going down the crack, and then he'd be like, okay, I don't have a signal no more. And then Top Cat or Gary would swing over it with their uh, pulse induction detectors, where you can use the side of the coil. And Dano got frustrated, I know, because both of them dug pickers out of places he already dug in, and oh, no signal there, because we were all working a lot with our detectors. I wish I would have did some sniping, because every time almost I hiked him with my wetsuit and my mask and snorkel, and not once did I go in the water and do any sniping.
Well, it sounds like you guys still found a good amount of gold. Not
Oh
sniping
yeah.
anyways.
And I got a little flash in my pan at the meet and greet, but to be honest, the gold of that thing was all the great people I met. You know, Damon, West Coast Prospecting, and his uncle, and Otis, and Barry, and you, and even though I did give you kind of a hard time about your one wheeler, which was real cool, and I when I watched the video of it, and I make that crack and says, "Don't worry." I said something like, "Don't worry, Jerry. If you wipe out, I'll try and get it on tape." And I kind of said, "Why?" I think, why did I even leave that in there?
You're good. I have literally I used to ride that thing a lot, and I kind of ride it here and there to the mailbox and back now is all I pretty much do on that thing, because it dumped me on my face one time out of nowhere. Like I've had that thing for a couple of years, and you see me out there carrying backpacks on hiking trails with it, and just
Well,
I rode
that
the heck
day
out of it.
you made like 5 trips, I swear, from the parking
Yeah,
lot to where we were at. So shoo, shoo,
yeah.
shoo.
And one day I was riding it, and it was like it just died out of nowhere and just failed and just dumped me on my face at full speed. I still have a big scar on my hip from it. I mean, I was messed up for a
Oh.
while. So I don't really ride that thing as much anymore.
Yeah, I was talking earlier in pre-show about being out in California last Christmas time and stuff and staying at my best friend's house every day. He'd get home from work and the parking lots at like Fashion Island and stuff were empty now in like a medical part of the area. And so we'd go down there or we'd go up to the school or something, and Judy B kept on going, "Don't fall, you're not as young as you used to be, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, don't worry. Psh. I'm really glad I didn't wipe out on those, but they were fun. Have you ever
Yeah.
rode an electric skateboard? Or
I think I
just a
have once.
one
Yeah.
wheeler?
No, no, it was like a gas powered one, I think, like big tires on it, the board, and it had the trigger and bigger throttle. And a buddy of mine had it. And yeah, it was not, I've ridden a lot of things, and something about that was not good to me. Didn't pick up on that one.
Just don't seem right.
No,
Vendetta!
yeah.
We were talking about you too, Mike. Were your ears burning? MJ, good to see you. Brad Welsh. Thought I saw someone else. So I know a lot has been going on in the last couple of years, and I know you haven't given up on gold prospecting at all, and I know you haven't given up on your channel. And we touched base a little during pre-show. So, right off the bat, what's the future look like for Motherlode Gold Prospectors?
Well, yeah, I haven't been posting much of anything. Bunch of different reasons for that. Mostly work. I took on a new job that has me traveling everywhere, and so I'm kind of committed to that. And I love it. It's a really good opportunity for me. So that's kind of why I haven't been getting out as much. Another reason why is when I went through my divorce, I moved to a property that I really like, but it's about another hour and a half away from Gold Country. And it put me about 3 to 3.5 hours. It used to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, turned into like 3.5. So, um, kind of the last couple of years, I was looking in some other areas that were closer to me, more of a straight shot across the valley.
Right,
But they were a little bit lower in Gold Country. We're talking, Murphy's area, Arnold, places like just lower Placerville. I could get there quicker, but it was kind of a new experience. Like it's a bunch of new creeks, a bunch of new places, and it takes you a while to figure some of this stuff out. And so, I mean, I did find gold at a few different places, but nothing that was. It was just so deep in there, and going by myself a lot. I kind of miss going out with other people. Always having it's just safer in general. Um, but yeah, you get especially on the bike. Getting way deep in some of those canyons. The gold wasn't good enough to keep going back. So
right.
kind of just been experimenting the last couple of years, poking around. I'm definitely out there, but I haven't been filming as much. And there's even stuff that I have that I filmed that I haven't even put out. It's just it's hard to find the time for the videos and some of the stuff I have. Yeah, I need to invest in some better equipment too. I had some camera malfunctions the last couple of trips where I'm missing parts where I don't have any sound. Something was happening with my camera the last two different trips, and it was like maybe out of every 10 videos, I'd have one video that just was missing the sound for some reason. And it's like one of the keyest parts of the video where I'm talking to the camera or something. And it's just really been having a lot of weird stuff like that too. So
Most of my best footage from the meet and greet, East meets West thing you guys put on, I was using my little Rode shotgun mic on my GoPro, and I didn't have it plugged all the way in. And when I brought it home and stuff, there was so much footage. I had zero sound. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh man, some of that's the better stuff too. So
yeah.
I pretty much had what was on my phone.
Yeah, and I didn't know this because when I was going out there, I was using this camera that I don't normally use a lot, but we were sniping, and it was a GoPro.
Right,
And so I was using that camera, and I used to use that camera a lot. It's been solid, and so I didn't even know that this was happening until like 3 or 4 trips in, because I just was collecting video, and I'll make a video eventually of that, and I'll use that. But so I didn't. It's not like I was checking every single clip. I was just pulling it off the camera and putting it on a hard drive. And so yeah, it kind of bit me in the ass too that I just
right.
kept filming like that. And so. But yeah, I mean, just little things. I mean, that's kind of the minorest thing. It's mostly work. And another thing is I bought some property, and that has been taking a lot of my attention this last summer. It's
Oh,
towards the end
good.
of the summer is when I started this whole process, and I've been looking at land for a while, just to have either buy a house somewhere closer to the Motherlode, or I say the Motherlode, but Gold Country in general. Sacramento, east of Sacramento. Um,
Right.
so just been looking and trying to find something for a long time. And there was actually another property that I remember I put an offer in, and it didn't work out. There was some problem with the county. Trying to find something for a long time. And sorry, I got something happening here.
Mute that, boy.
My laptop just started to talk all of a sudden.
Doggone it, technology.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was looking at another property. It didn't work out.
MJ
Kind of
wants to
bummed out about that.
know, OnlyPans MJ, Mary Jane wants to know, does it have a creek?
Yes, it does.
Ooh,
It does have a creek. It's the place that I ended up settling on. It's kind of some useless land, really. Wasn't very desirable, but it's mostly just in the middle of a bunch of private property and some forest land. It's the road that goes off and it dead ends. And I own like the whole road and basically the whole hillside going down to the river. And it's the Yuba. I'm not going to get into details, so I don't want to get too
right,
many details of where I'm at.
right,
But
right,
I bought like a potential trail and land down to the Yuba. And then from there on, there's forest land. There's some land that's owned by a logging company that's one of my neighbors. So it's kind of neat down there because it's an area of the river that's really hard to get to. Otherwise, there's not any access above or below it for miles. So um, that's cool. That's part of it. The other part is it's right below a hydraulic mine, and there's a creek that comes out of that hydraulic mine. It's the only creek. There was an actual natural creek. They kind of diverted things, when they're mining and stuff. But the
right.
original creek, I own like the whole creek basically down to the river from the mine, like all the way down to the river. So that's another cool thing, something to poke around there. And there's a lot.
Nice.
There's supposedly shafts. I found one shaft already. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's about 17 acres. So
Oh,
lots of
nice.
lots of adventures to be had coming up.
Right, Deej. Deej just said, don't give too much identifying information.
Exactly. No, I don't want to get too much.
Actually, it's not on the Yuba. It's on the Ababui. Um, and
Some dark canyon somewhere.
over by No Tell 'em Creek.
No,
Yeah.
there you go. That's right. No Telling Canyon. It's in there.
Hobo Rob
But
wants to know if, can I come play? Brian Wilder's like, dredge party at your place. Put me in it. Put me in to go dredge it.
yeah, it's got potential in a lot of ways, and I've just haven't even begun to start to tap into any of it yet. I know. Oh, actually, no. I was there last week. I went up there to charge the batteries up because I have a camera system and stuff up there, and have a little cabin that's up there that I'm working on now. I'm getting it comfortable so I could go up there and then go prospecting, and I have a place to work from. So, um, but yeah, I was up there last week and we finally went to the little creek. Me and my daughter, and I just brought a gold pan with me and some really simple crevicing tools, and was like, let's just see. And first pan, I had a few specks of gold, and it
uh,
wasn't even every pan. I had a little bit of color. It was very fine, but it was there. So
our friend Jason the Mason, the Flower Gold Wizard.
Jason,
Like I told you, I was up on Lake Superior with him in July. But he says, I'm gonna mail you a new hoodie.
dude,
AirTag
I will totally rock it.
included.
I
Uh,
will totally rock that. I don't know what I think that I might have left his hoodie that he gave me on an adventure somewhere because it just disappeared. And I don't normally lose clothes or anything, but that hoodie, I wore that hoodie everywhere, and one day I just couldn't find it. And I think I might have left it in the woods somewhere on one of my adventures.
Jason, he didn't hear the part about the AirTag, so you're good.
Oh man.
Uh, Jason's a great guy. You should meet
Yeah.
him someday. Um,
Yeah, I know he's up there and is that Washington? Michigan.
oh
One of those two.
no, no. Even though Washington has a share of flour gold, ask
Yeah,
Washington
what's
Beach
lake?
miner.
It's the
He's
it's
up in Wisconsin, and
okay. Yeah.
he mines Lake Superior
Yeah, it
beaches
was the
quite
big
a bit.
lakes, right?
Yeah, yeah. But hey, you never
Yeah, but
know.
there is a guy in Oregon that's like Oregon beach mining or something, right? Because I think that that's what
There's
there was a guy that was doing a lot. I thought up
is that
there. I might have
Washington
changed
Beach
that.
mining,
Or yeah, or
Jason?
Washington beach mining. Yeah, that sounds
There is a
familiar.
guy that comes in here, Gold Hunter 77, who does a lot of Oregon beach mining.
Hmm,
So,
that's cool. Never done any of that. Be interested to check that out.
uh, talk about flower gold. Uh, Jason picked his name good, you know. If that's his playground a lot of times, he definitely picked it good. Uh,
I've seen him do pretty good on the beaches up there in some of his videos. Sure.
yeah, definitely. Um, when I spent an evening afternoon prospecting with him, Judy stayed at the hotel. And the only thing I could think while we were hiking and walking around and ducking under trees and whatnot was like, Judy ain't gonna go for this when we come to prospect, when I bring her to the beach to prospect. But I ended up doing really good for how long I worked, where I was at. I found a nice lens and I had to dig a ways, but I ended up finding some nice black sand lenses and good cobbles. Looked good, looked good, so I dug it. And I was kind of happy. I wish I had more time. I keep telling Jason, next time I come up, I might leave Judy at home, and that way I could dig a lot more.
Yeah, I even need to start bringing some stuff with me when I go on these trips. You know, back east and everywhere because I've been to some. I was in where is it? More Superstition Mountains. Was that
Oh,
Arizona?
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like hiking around at the bottom of them, like just one day out of they sent me somewhere, and I wasn't really paying attention to where they were sending me, and I went and did what I had to do, and I was driving by and I seen like this gold mine sign on the side of the road. Ended up there at the bottom of the Superstition Mountains. Like, man, I wish I had a gold pan or just a metal detector or
Now
something to
with
bring.
our community and stuff, Jerry, like I know when you were in Indy, you reached out to me. It'd be better to reach out to me on phone since I believe you still have my number
Oh
and
yeah,
or on phone or Facebook instead of Instagram because I don't check Instagram except for like every 4 days. And I think that's where you messaged me when you were in Indianapolis. And oh, but next time, I'm telling you, next time, if you have just a little headwind or even a day or two before you fly out, let me know and we'll find somewhere to go digging. And I have pans, got my hive anchor dredge, whatever. You know, talk Patrick and
yeah.
calling into sick and go to No Tell 'em Creek and find some nice chunkies that came here illegally from Ontario. So
Sounds like fun.
I know work is taking a lot of time, the time from the divorce and family, priority to see your girls and your work, guy gotta work, um, your property, but you did say you were gonna change it up quite a bit on the
That's right.
channel.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that too. We were talking about how, all the editing that goes into the videos and how you get really deep into go down that rabbit hole with editing and trying to make every little thing perfect. And that was one of the things I like to do, especially in the beginning, was edit the videos and add music and make intros. And, that was fun to me. And it
I
became
enjoyed
slowly,
it.
yeah. Yeah, there's a point where it's very enjoyable, and then it kind of after years of doing that, and in the beginning trying to do it on a regular basis, it just became not as fun. And then I'll go through
Right.
phases where I want to do that kind of stuff, and then sometimes I'm just not in the mood to do that stuff. And I would much rather now, I think, um, start making videos that are less polished like that, less editing and more just videos. Like we're going out, this is what we did, check it out, this is what we're doing now, this is the plan, the adventure, and taking you with us, that kind of stuff. And
Right.
just, maybe make a nice intro and then just kind of keep it pretty simple, and
And
um,
cut down on
well,
the different angles and
yeah,
transitions and drone material and this and that
exactly.
and get more back to the basics.
Yes, more just looking like the video more secondary than ever, and just we're out here and this we're looking for gold. No, I got it. I got this on video, and like I was telling you with this property, it's I want to start making videos. I've been documenting a lot of just getting the whole. It's the cabin that we put up there's on wheels. Is actually a tiny house, so
Nice.
we had to get it in there, which wasn't easy because it's like a 4x4 road, and we
That
we got
was
it in
an
there.
adventure all in itself,
Oh
right?
yeah, the wheel came off on the freeway. And, I bought it. I bought it half made, and I had to finish it, but I never checked the wheel. And I guess one of the wheels, the lug nuts were loose. I wanted to wash the whole wheel came off on the freeway, and we had to
Wow.
figure that. Yeah, sheared the lugs right off. Um, I had to go and get lugs and make them work, but we got it up there. Had to cut a bunch of trees. Freaking flying. driving me crazy.
Still driving
It's
you
just a
nuts,
one
huh?
fly. Yeah. So yeah, it was an adventure, and I got a lot of that documented, um, and everything after. My dad has been helping me a lot with it. He built this little rain collection system and little water tank, and it's all gravity fed, and so we had water there within the first like day or two. And that's
Nice.
actually this time of year, it's been working great, and it's nice to have something like that. But I have other water systems I'm working on and stuff, but just a lot of neat little stuff like that, and just getting a little mining cabin built and just a little like home base on an actual mine above the river, and getting that part of it all finished to where it's like, all right, now it's adventure time. Let's go explore and really find out what's going on here. So
Right. In due time, you'll get there and stuff. But I do really, really miss the Gold Shack. And
yeah.
you said you do plan on bringing back your live and your Gold Shack.
Well, I call that little cabin the Gold Shack. It's just what it kind of is, a little gold shack up in the mountains now. It's like the most gold shackiest thing I've had so far. So,
Right.
um, I used to do the thing in the garage. I was thinking about doing something in this is like a car trailer that I turned into a garage. But then, that's really is, I could probably do a live up there. The hotspot I have, I don't know if it's going to support that. That might be an issue, but I could probably even do some live video up there. If I did it right and got some good internet and maybe got some extension, like some Wi-Fi extenders, I could
Right.
probably get internet all the way down to the river. And then you start opening up the doors to doing like live streams on the river and, live finding gold live and stuff. That would be pretty cool. And I've considered that kind of stuff. So
That would be really cool. Definitely. I one thing I love about lives is, well, the first thing is getting to talk to like-minded people like yourself and people I've met or people I've want to meet. And then the next best thing, probably really close to the first one, is the live interaction with the people in the live chat. And and the last but not least is there's no editing.
yeah.
And like you, even though I'm far from the quality of an editor you are, I enjoyed it. I still do to a degree, but there's that one video I told you how many hours I did on it. That one about took the wind out of my editing, the love I had for editing, and made it just a liking.
Yeah. That's kind of the thing was, when I was telling you this earlier, sometimes you'll have a really good video and you'll be all excited about it, and you shot all this really good footage and everything comes together and you're super excited about it, and you post it on YouTube, and those I've had so many
Tanks.
of those. It just yeah, it goes nowhere, and then the one video that you don't think is going to do good at all, that's the one that does good for whatever reason. And that's the whole no rhyme or reason way that YouTube works, kind of didn't hurt or didn't help, make me where I'm at now, to where I don't want to even do it, because it's
Right.
you can't prepare for it. No matter what you do, you think you have a good idea, you try to shoot a really good video, and maybe it is a good video, and for whatever reason the algorithm is just either going to push it or it's not, and you never know. So
I've always enjoyed your videos. They were always well thought out, and I like the way you narrate it and stuff. Mr. Lodak, can you throw Jerry's channel link out in the chat? If none of you are subscribed to Jerry, he's not hurting for subscribers, mind you, but if you're not subscribed to him, you should take a look at his older stuff. A lot of great adventures, a lot of beautiful scenery, a lot of great footage, and really good editing. I always enjoyed your stuff, dude. Even
Thanks.
when you were just starting out, you know. I've been watching you a long time, Jerry, and I'm I'm glad the way you've grown. I think your numbers could be higher. You
It is what
it
it is.
is what it is.
I'm not
Don't let
I'm
that
not even complaining about that much of it. It's more of like, I remember there was a point where I was so excited to do this. It was like this. I was just so excited that, and I put so much into it, even money, time, effort, like everything. It was there. I was gonna do this, and this is gonna be great. And then you do a few videos, and like I'm saying, there's really no way to prepare. Usually with a job, you could tell you're doing a good job, and you know that you're either it's working out or it's not working out. But with
right.
YouTube, it's kind of hard to like those guys that do it and they put everything into it and it works. Like, man, it paid off for them and good for them. They must have, because that's a big commitment. Because otherwise, if you're trying to just do it on the side and stuff, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I just want to do it on the side, and I don't really care about what views I get or any monetary side of it or anything. It's more of just to share, the experience at this point. And I'll post videos when I want to post them, and
I
hopefully everybody
I can
understands.
relate to that, and that's one thing I love about my live stream, and I've been kind of anal about a show must go on, and shoot, June be 7 years. But you know, I'm sitting at home, I'm by my computer. Why not do a live once a week? And it keeps content consistent on my channel.
Yeah,
At least if I do nothing else, at least there's that. And I've been getting away from trying to outdo myself in editing, you know, with I'm sure you've been there. Well, I did this on this video. I want to outdo that and do this. And you always built trying to improve and outdo your last video. But I can't be mad at YouTube. There's millions and millions of new YouTubers every day, millions and millions of videos uploaded every day. Pardon me. With a lot of good talent, a lot of great content, and it is what it is. You gotta either love it or have a strong liking to do it and share what you love. If you don't do it. Just watch.
yeah, that's
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly kind of where I'm at. I love doing it for, shoot, man. I don't even know how many years it's been now. I want to say it's probably at least six that the channel's been up. Like the first 4 years at least, like there was a point where I was making a video a week, like religiously, and it wore me down. It was fun doing it, and there was a point where it was awesome, but it got to the point where it became too
a
much,
job.
and yeah, the job, and that's I guess where I'm getting at with it is
Yeah, I
if it's not
came
gonna
home from one job
if
to
it
do another job. It's
if
like
it
a
starts
guy.
turning into a job, yeah, if it starts turning into a job and you're not making anything from it, like financially, but you're putting everything into it and everything else, I don't know. I put all my eggs in the basket with that one too, because it takes so much of your time. Kind of, there's almost no like going half at it, really. If you really want to be successful with YouTube, I feel like you'd have to go full time and just make it your thing.
Yeah, pretty
Eventually,
much, but you know, Gotta have deep wallets for that.
Exactly.
Maybe one day when I retire and I could travel more and stuff. But yeah, right now I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm growing a little here, a little there. I have an awesome community. The real gold is, from my experience at least in this YouTube lifestyle, we have Jerry. The real gold, even though I love finding gold just as much as you do and many people in our live chat, but the friends I've made and the people I've met, like you, Damon, West Coast Prospecting, Brian Wilder, shoot, he's sat in my kitchen at our dining table with us before. Um, and so many others that I've got to meet and become friends with. Digging with Deej, I know her. We've met a few times. She's come to a couple of my flash bashes and also came to Gold Rush days one year. That's the real gold. Shoot. If I,
Yeah, meeting the people that you meet along the way, that is definitely a big part of it. I've met some really cool people, you know, all the whole group that we have out here, all of you guys, everybody at all the digs. I got all these pans. I'm gonna take those pans and put them like up on the wall in the little miners in the gold shack.
yeah,
Try to make a little collection
in
of
my
them.
shed, I need to make more room though, take down some more sluices and stuff so I could have every outing pan.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, uh,
I think I have about three, four of them now. I get one every year. It's kind of cool. So you meet a lot of people, and even I met a lot of people at the dig this last year on the river. That was a pretty big turnout last year. I don't think I've been to the. I went to the one maybe 2 years before that. Missed a couple, but last year was pretty big.
yeah, you said you remember seeing JP, meeting JP. He's here.
Yep, saw
Banshee
JP,
was there. I
saw
know
Banshee. Yep,
I know
that's a sticker.
Damon and Otis were there.
Yep, those guys were there.
Actually, there's gonna be a guy there this coming year. Another, not only because of you and the Tim and the Mining Hawaiian and all the friends of mine out there, Top Cat, Two Toes and stuff. Brad Welsh, he's in our chat room right now. He's from Australia. He's going to Blue Leads Nugget Hut, the North Yuba Nugget Hut. MJ's gonna be there. She's from Washington. I really, really want to get there. So I still need to meet Mayhem.
Yeah, yeah, he was there last year.
And Digging with Deej nailed it. New friends are the treasure. They are, Deej.
Met so many people. Got to get back out on the river with Mike. Mike, we were talking about Mountain Mike.
Yeah,
He just finished building. He like added on to his little cabin finally. Now it's a big cabin. He's been working on it for a while, but it's pretty much
nice.
done. So good for him. So he's been up to the last couple of years. So, but
Shoot, he probably has gold on his property.
oh yeah, he does. That's actual old mine. I think it was called the Cracker Jack mine.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know if I talked to you about it, but my foster brother's up in Boehner,
Yeah.
and there's a drift mine on their claim or on their property, and a hard rock mine on their property, and it has a creek running through it. It does carry gold. Don't tell no one, but they've been dredging it. They've been working on getting heavy metals out of the waterway. So yeah, but um, I I believe Barry's from Boehner, if I
Yeah,
remember right.
I think so. That sounds right.
But shoot, he's a couple of times he's like, if Todd or anyone ever wants to come up, just let him know, and they could play on his creek, on their creek
Nice.
and stuff. Otis Ferris is in the house. Hey, brother.
Hmm. What up,
Otis says,
Otis?
good evening, everyone. Ed and Jerry, Damon, MJ.
Nice. Yeah, I was looking at the chat, and then you heard my computer go all of a sudden just start talking out of nowhere. And so I kind of just turned it off and threw it over here. I'm afraid to turn it back on, but I can't see the chat anymore.
Oh, just you with your laptop, you can just
I just need to mute.
pop
I
out
had
the
it muted. I
chat,
thought
and
that chat.
then you don't
Let me
have to
see.
worry about muting it. It's okay. We'll
Yeah,
just deal with it, and we'll say, "Hey, mute it again." They'll
yeah,
let us
right.
know.
I can hear you right now. I gotta mute it. There we go.
There
All
you
good now.
go.
Fixed it. All right.
Thank you, Ken. Now we have a mining legend in the house. He's a dredging legend from Idaho. Ken Durstler. Uh, we call him Mountain Man Ken over at goldprospectorspace.com. That man is well, he's 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 up there in age. Great guy, but he's still dredging and shoot. How old are you, Ken? 83, 85, 80 something? And still
He's been
dredging.
dredging for 147 years, Brian says.
Hey, he's a legend. Good guy.
That's
Thank you,
funny.
Ken. But it
Yeah,
was
lots of
either
cool people.
okay. It was either Justin the Gold Goat or Dirty Years Pie.
30 years
What?
is in here.
No, I think it was Justin Otis. I remember a Justin, and he had an orange pan, and he was working that death cave.
Oh, that was JC. Oh, no, you're talking about what we were talking about earlier. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
yeah, yeah. Justin the Gold Goat.
Dan Hurd.
Dan, how you doing, Mr. Hurd? Good to see you. I sent you an email, Dan. It's probably buried a couple of times. Yeah. Well, I might as well tell him. I kind of asked him a favor in email, if maybe he could talk to Brent Underwood, who owns Cerro Gordo in California. I think he'd be great on the show. So would
Yeah, that would be a good
Jason from
one.
Mount Baker Mining Company. but um, I know people like in Dan's shoes. Good, Dan. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Dan's shoes and others, they're so busy now and they get emails after emails on top of emails and buried. And I'm sure by the time they even get a chance to look at emails, anything I said is probably buried. Good to see you, Dan. Um, so we've gone over that. We've gone over your property, no Tellum Creek and uh, no name area, and no, it don't go down to the Yuba. Um, but I'm anxious to see what happens of that uh, one day when you fill me in on it. It sounds very promising, though. I look forward to
Yeah.
hearing more on it and hopefully
Yeah,
one day come play on it.
definitely. I got to get a trail. That's probably the first thing that has to happen before there's a trail that I know about that goes down to the river, but I have to use someone else's property. And they're actually cool with me doing that, but I mean, I went all this far to have my own shot down to the river. I just need to kind of make my own trail down there. So that's probably the first thing that needs to happen. And
I
probably will even make a video about that, because it's pretty steep and there's some spots that might even be repelling, and
oh,
I have no clue what's down there. So
that'd be cool.
yeah.
GoPro Unlimited said no treasure porn yet, Ed. Now, okay, I'm gonna ask, by any chance, Jerry, do you have any treasure gold porn handy?
Oh man. I'm thinking I was gonna bring some gold out and I didn't. There might be a pan with yeah, there's a pan with some gold in it. I mean, nothing crazy, but there's some gold just hanging out over here. I'll show you.
Well, you know how these prospectors can be. Any little flash in your pan can be good, you know. Hey,
This
Gold
is
Hunter
I don't even remember.
77.
Oh, daughter. Nothing crazy. Some color.
Some color in
But
the
yeah,
pan.
yeah. There you go. Wish I had more to show, but I actually need to clean this place up and get it usable again. I still got my blue bowl out. I haven't used that in probably a year or so.
I think all the water's evaporated out of there.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to put more water in my blue bowl tub and some chlorine tablets. It hasn't frozen solid yet. We've had a really mild winter. Raining a lot in the Motherlode right now.
We just got snow. That was kind of the thing. It's what, January 9th? And we got snow a couple of days ago. When was that? Last Saturday. Last Saturday it snowed pretty decent. And I even got on my cameras that I have up there at the property. It was enough to cover the road completely. Maybe like 3 or 4 inches, it looked like, somewhere
What's
around
the
there.
elevation approximately of your property?
I'm not actually sure. I think it's between 2 and 3, maybe a little more than 3, somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500,
Oh,
maybe
that
somewhere
ain't
in there.
bad. Now
Yeah,
you're down in the valley though, right?
yeah. Well, no, I mean I'm up there, but it's not super deep. I'm not too far. It's kind of a good mixture. It's like not right out of the hills, but it's not super deep up in the mountains either. It's kind of right in between.
Right. right? Like Auburn area or something like that?
No, it's higher than Auburn. It's about the elevation of maybe higher than Nevada City,
Okay.
somewhere around that. Yeah. Kind of like where you'd go hang out, you'll know what I'm talking about with this, but like Adam's spot on the
Okay.
Yuba,
Okay. Okay.
somewhere around that elevation, a little bit higher, maybe but close to that.
Okay. Right on. So I'm kind of actually surprised Adam ain't in here because I shared it to Prospectors Theory.
Yeah, I shared it on a couple of. I haven't posted anything on YouTube until today. It's probably been over a year, and I think I made a post about this today.
Well,
Yeah,
good. I'm glad you did. Um,
yeah. I appreciate you having me on.
you're a friend of mine, Jerry, and it's been a while. And even though you're not super active with your channel, it's not completely dead. And I know you're
No,
gonna bring it back. And
yeah.
bring it back, I'm sure it's gonna come back even better. Uh,
Oh well, I hope so too. We'll see, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different, but it'll be more. There'll be more substance there. I feel like more of a story instead of just going. It'll be instead of us just panning at the river every single video and not much there. It'll have a little more backstory. And we're gonna go on this adventure today. We've been working on this. Check this out. We're getting ready to go. We're doing this, and it'll be a little bit more interesting, hopefully. So that's the plan, at least.
one of my most favorite videos you made, there was a lot of bike involved in it. Uh, when you rode in with your trail bike with the trailer you built and the series you did on the trailer build and stuff for your motorcycle.
Yeah,
I kind of like that stuff because back years ago I did a lot of do it yourself stuff, you know. Uh, I kind of like being in the trades. You're in the trades too, jack of all trades, and could pretty much
right.
build what we need if we don't, if find the means, one, to build something, build it. But
That's what
with,
you had to do back in the days, you know.
yeah, especially when I didn't have money for a dredge, I built it.
People used to build stuff. People used to fix stuff. People used to don't do as much of that
Well,
anymore. But
any prospector, a true prospector, and definitely miner, has to be able to troubleshoot, has
yeah,
to be able to think outside of the box and get it fixed and get it working again. No
yeah,
doubt, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
yeah. Those you think about it, you had to be back in the days a survivalist. You had to know what to eat. You had to know how to hunt and to fish, and you had to do all the things that supported you being able to stay alive to mine.
That's
And
right. Uh,
shelter, homesteading, all that stuff.
Gold Hunter 77 from the Gold Coast of Oregon. He goes, Jerry, your videos are top notch, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I try, and hopefully there'll be more out there for everybody to watch here pretty soon.
MJ, Only Pans MJ says, it's a new year, Motherlode, make it awesome. Autosphera says, the mini movie was awesome.
I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I like making those what are they called? The shorts. Those are fun sometimes. I went back and made a few shorts recently of some older stuff that I didn't think got enough attention.
That's kind of like what I've been doing, like we talked earlier in pre-show. repurposing older videos. I've been kind of cheating instead of throwing them in my editor and going through it and looking for a keen place, and then doing all my own subtitles and stuff. I've used AI technology to clip out what AI would think was like
Oh, that's cool. What they
from
thought was the best.
yeah, and
Huh.
I must
Wow.
have picked a dumb artificial intelligence because I've looked at them and then when I take it into their editor to like correct words or stuff, um, and to tweak it a little, I'm like, why the hell did you pick this part? But
I never even knew you could do that. I've messed with it to make titles for videos. That's about as far as I've got. I'll be like, I have a video that has this and this and this. What would be a good title that you think, would get a lot of views? And for
right.
whatever reason, because I've used that and used some. I've never used exactly what they say. I don't know. It never sounds completely right the way it comes out. So I'll tweak something a little bit, but doesn't
Is
seem to make any
is that
difference.
like the TubeBuddy title generator thing? The
No, I've
AI?
just used the AI I use. I still have on my phone Snapchat, and it's like it has a little guy in there that you could talk to, and it's basically like
Oh,
Chat GPT, but it's free because I think with Chat GPT you have to pay for it, but it's just a
I
little
I I
thing.
have a free version. You can use the free version of ChatGPT. It isn't as fast and they dumb it down a little. But I I've used that for some ideas, and if it's going to be out there, you might as well utilize the technology as long as you're not using it for every single thing. That's kind of cheating. But, for ideas, for doing your subtitles, try and pick some of the videos and stuff or shorts. But even there, you have to play with it and kind of give it your own special thing. But there's free resources, but they're limited. Everybody wants that almighty buck, Jerry.
Yeah,
Wants that almighty buck.
I feel like if I tried to use AI to do, because there was a time where I thought like, well, maybe I could instead of some videos I'll talk, and it's if you've ever made a video where you try to like sit down and think of stuff to talk about, sometimes it's not very easy. It's not easy for me. It doesn't come naturally. So sometimes, just coming up with content to voice over. And I think I asked it to make some content one time, and it sounded so weird that I was just like, this doesn't like why would I ever use this? Because it doesn't sound like me. People would be like, what does he talk like? That don't even sound like me. Like, why would so?
Right.
Yeah. So, and
Uh,
then it's like it's the whole moral part of it too. Like, I want to be me. So,
yeah. With some of my guests, I'll ask ChatGPT, could you give me questions for this guest has this channel? I didn't use it for you
that's kind of
because I
clever.
know you, but there were some on where I didn't know. So I put in the information and where you ask it. I for my live stream podcast, it's a 2 hour show. Could you give me questions about a YouTuber who prospects or metal detects? And they'll give me a list of questions and stuff. And so far it hasn't been bad. Some I've used, some I've said no, I'm not gonna use that. But some I've used it for questions for the live stream.
That's a really good idea. I would have not thought about that, but that is actually probably one of the more useful ideas for it.
Brad Wells says, I feel funny when I do voiceover in my videos. Don't like the sound of my voice sometimes. Well, I know how you feel, Brad. I don't like the
Yep.
sound of my voice all the time. Hey, Canadian Hillbilly, how you doing?
Well, I got to show you, Ed. You know, you gave me this. I don't remember when, but it was, I think when you were out here last. But
Oh, the
I think it was
towel?
I think either Jess or Dano gave me this one this year, the 2023 North
I
Movement
think
Net Leadership one.
that one was done by Jesse.
Yeah,
Did
and I still have this one that you
you
gave me.
got a bucket
I got the
hat?
original OG one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's great when
see,
like Two
in all
Toes
my
and
shops.
Todd weather gold on the towel.
Yeah, yep. I did the same thing for a little bit too. Those have always been hanging up in my garage in the same spot, wherever my garage is at the time. I had a couple recently.
I agree, Bill. My friend Bill says, Ed, you don't need AI to generate some good questions for guests. Just get Rose back on. I'd love to have Rose back on permanent wise, but you know how it is. Rose is awesome. Hey, Ron Shaw, how you doing? Excellent. I'm glad you still have your flash in your pan towel, Ron. Yeah, I have one hanging right here also. Oh no. That's the one that Mrs. Bedrock did for us. An LBPA towel. Nice. I'm glad you have it, Jerry. I'm glad you still use it.
I like it.
How many claims do you own total, Jerry? Do you own any
Uh,
claims?
I have a single claim right now. It's actually for sale. I got it posted on Facebook and a couple other like public marketplaces. And yeah, it's for sale right now. It's on a creek near Georgetown. It's the only one I actually own that's a legit claim. Other than a lot of our spots are mostly on public land that's not claimable. So this one's it's on forest land. It's 20 acres. It's in a lot of my videos. Well, had the quarrel a couple of years back where a guy was trying to not even necessarily top file, but legitimately like steal the claim in a weird way, and got that all taken care of. But yeah, it's for sale, and if anyone's interested, let me know. But it's crazy. I probably shouldn't have listed it on Facebook because I get so much. I mean, I get like maybe 5 to 6 messages a day at least on there, and people don't. I've written, please understand that you know what a gold claim is, and this is not private property, and all these different disclaimers. And people still, they just think that it's like they're buying land or something. They don't understand what it is,
Even though
So,
you still have to pay some stuff for it. Yeah, I've had people talk to me about, oh, I'll get a claim, I'll keep everybody off. You can't. It's public
no,
land still. Only thing you
yeah,
can keep them from doing is prospecting or mining.
yeah,
That's it.
you're,
Can't stop them
that's the
from
minimum.
fishing. Can't stop them from sitting there picnicking. Can't stop them from camping. But
Yeah,
once they dig a hole other than to defecate in it and put it in a pan, then you could get them busted. But
Yeah, it's become, and then the people that are actually legitimately interested, they're like, "Yeah, can I go look at it?" And it's been in the beginning, I said yes to a few people, but now it's like I don't even know how I'm going to sell it because unless I got a person that's legitimately interested in cash in hand, I'll go with them and show it to them. I think at this point because I can't keep giving. I've given so many people access to it that just want to go take a look, and who knows what they're doing down there, and it's kind of going to end up being a free
right.
for all. Keep giving people access. So yeah,
Well, I'm
I can
glad
keep.
you didn't, Ron. I saw the post about it from Robert. Um, Now, Brad, Rocky Mountain Prospector, he says, I like Jerry's video with the good looking blonde women.
Candace, I like those videos too.
Don't we
She's fun.
all?
She is a lot of fun. And the cool thing about Candace is she is like the total, she's so into doing that stuff. Like she hits me up. Hey, can we go mining again? Like, yeah, we'll take you out. We'll plan a trip. And she's she's, for example, one of the places that we go to, it's very dangerous coming down this hill because we call it bombing the hill. There's really no trail once you get to a point. We just start cutting down the hill, and it's 45-degree angle, if not more in places. You're crawling on the hillside, and it's there's a lot of spots where there's rocks that are loose, and so
Right?
I would go below her because I don't want to be responsible for kicking rocks on someone. So I'm always the one that goes below. And man, a couple of times we go in there, I'm like everyone else is kicking rocks except for her, and she's up there just makes it up and out like it's nothing, and just very good about that. And it's like I trust her. I trust her enough to be underneath her and let her go up the hill and not kick stuff down on me. And she even when she's not prospecting, she's out there in the hills and mountains. She does. I think that she's trying to hike to the top of every single peak in California, and she's like almost accomplished it completely so far. So, or every major peak.
Almost,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. So,
Well, that's cool. That's
pretty cool.
cool.
Yeah, I always like going out with Candace. She's really cool
Makes it a good time,
and
huh?
very beautiful.
I
This Rocky Mountain says.
I think I've seen it. Oh, I have to watch over some more.
Yeah, she's the real deal. She'll taking her some places that make some guys cry. Legitimately. Uh,
Oh yeah, I need to send that to you, don't I? Or so okay. I'll remember one of these days, Ronald. You might have to remind me again.
I
Ronald
like this
Life.
guy's name. I like the Only Pan's name. That's a good one. That's clever.
That's Mary Jane. She's
I
from
like that.
Washington State.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Someone have had a question? Remember, everybody, if you have a question for Jerry, tag me. And well, you know how it is when you tag someone and you see someone tag you, the name pops out at you. So tag me so I see it, and I'll be very happy to uh, ask Jerry, and Jerry's watching the chat right now, so he could even see it.
Looking down at it. I wish it was over here somewhere, but can't make that happen.
That's when you get all settled down for sure and have your studio. You need a good computer with 2 or 3 monitors. It helps.
Well, I had that nice setup in the garage. I still have all that stuff. Like, just it's kind of almost a waste. Remember when I had the gold shack going on with all the different cameras and using what is it that you use for that? I can't even remember the name of the program, but I had some
OBS?
OBS. That's right. Yep, I got to get fluent with OBS again because that was the process.
Yeah,
And
there's definitely a learning curve with OBS. I could
yeah,
use StreamYards too and bring in your cameras, other cameras with different like you could use um Google for one camera or for your camera, and then bring in Microsoft Edge for another camera and stuff like that. It's more of a cookie cutter streaming tool, but it's web based. And there isn't the learning curve that OBS has, but it's a lot harder to have the feel of the gold sheds feel like the feel of Tuesday night Hangout Live. You know, we've polished down our feel for the shows, and that's kind of why I don't use StreamYards on a regular basis, because then I'd lose what I thought I kind of created with Tuesday night Hangout Live. Uh, Jason AU Colorado wants to know, what's your best find? HD Shovelhead!
the biggest nugget I found was like 9.6 ish. Oh, man, I know it's 9 grams. Little, it's over 9 grams.
Nice.
So that's like getting close to a third of an ounce. Wait, yeah, it's about a third of an ounce. So
One day you're gonna find that 5 pound nugget.
yeah, I sure hope so.
Big old thing as big as your head, or like that one Bedrock Bennett found, what, a year ago or so, about the size of a cigarette box.
For every one that he has like that, there's probably 3 of them that are even bigger that we don't even know about with that guy.
Right. I wonder, geez, Bedrock Bennett's gonna be just like Two Toes when he gets Two Toes age. I know it.
Yeah, for sure. He's got the most exposure to the guy, that's for sure. And he soaks it up too, and he knows it. It's like time with Gary is invaluable, man. And he'll be the first person to tell you that. And he watches everything that guy does and tries to learn everything he can.
Oh, he's a good prospector, and I Mind Lab, hit up Gary, Top Cat, and Bedrock Bennett.
Yeah, Bobcat's been killing it with that 6,000 lately. He's been going over like all of our old workings and just finding new
Well,
gold.
the 6,000, and he does really good
Everything.
with that. With the, what is it? The SDC?
Well, he's been playing with the 2,300 forever. That's what he had
Right,
rocked for the last couple of years.
right.
And
But I know he picked
recently,
up that 6,000 not
well,
long
yeah.
ago.
So he got the 6,000, and I mean, I seen it. We went to Picker's Paradise a while back, and he was going over some bedrock, and the bedrock there is tricky because there's not even, you'll pick up on a signal and there's not even a crack, and you got to chip away at the bedrock, and somehow there'll be a picker like jammed way down in the rock with no even sign of a crack or anything. And we've seen just gold pop out of the rocks like that, and we've hit it with everything, the 2,300s, my detector, my White's TDS, been lots of detectors over that. And then he comes years later with the 6,000 and it's like new ground and it's just bedrock. It's very impressive.
I have to make fun of Jeff in here, GoPro Unlimited, because I see his other handles in here saying hi to him. So, MacGyver Muscle Machines. Make sure both your channels give me a like, Jeff. Um, I actually did pretty good with my 800, and so I couldn't. They're killing it. And Otis, we're in a chat. Um, I'm in a chat with a bunch of the West Coast guys and Otis and Damon and
Damon says he just got something from some pictures from Bennett. He won't
yeah.
believe it. Doesn't sound off to me. I bet Bennett kills
Otis
it.
just said should have seen. Where was it? I just saw it, but he talking about. I saw a picture of one Bennett found today. I thought it said, Bennett found a monker today, huge. That's what Otis said, and I believe it. I've seen some big nuggets in that chat, and usually by the time I look at them, they're in the conversation like 89 characters. There's like they've already talked hours ago and there's 89 comments to read through or something, and I'm like, why do I what do I even reply? Why even reply? It's way too
Yeah,
late.
I remember some of our old group chats from years ago, and how they would get like that.
Well, in that chat I have to silence at like 10 o'clock or so, right? Because at midnight, when I'm trying to sleep, it's only 9 o'clock for you boys out there, and it starts
Oh,
chiming. Oh, Otis and Bennett and Top Cat and Tim, it's another 2 hours later for Tim in Hawaii and Jeff. And for some reason, I can't see Smith's Gold's text, though. But he's in there. I can't see it, though. Bold Lion, hello.
David Villa, I remember him. I've seen some names that I recognize from back in the days.
Oh, yeah, David Villa. He's a Californiaer.
Yeah,
He's from the Big Valley. San Joaquin Valley. So is Banshee Mining. You probably met Banshee at.
Banshee, yeah, at Dig
You met her
on the
at.
Nugget Hunt.
Yeah,
I think I was digging next to her for a while at one point.
it could be. It could very well be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
David Villa. Not Villa. He's not Bob Villa.
That's funny.
Yes. But yeah, he's a good guy there. I'm moving back to Idaho. We are done here in the Badlands. Be careful moving. Be safe. Love that shirt, Jerry. You're wearing one of your shirts right now, aren't you? Oh, yeah.
Yep. California Motherlode special. It's like There was a couple of designs that I did not that long ago. This shirt's I was actually looking at this when I put it on. I'm like, this looks a lot more ragged than I remember it being, but it's been on a lot of gold adventures. So
You have some of those in your Etsy store, don't you?
yeah, yeah, you could get them on if you go to my videos on YouTube. There's links right that should pop up underneath the videos. Take you right to all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and then your shop channel on your shop tab.
Yeah, Etsy was for all by gold. I was doing pay dirt on there for a long time, and I stopped because I basically sold all the gold that I was willing to sell. So, um, but yeah, that was one thing that I kept going, even though I wasn't making videos that much. Because I was still going prospecting here or there, and you know, I was getting out enough to have some gold to sell. So
That's cool. I'd probably I don't what do you mean? I sell my gold, I find it, I sell it. GoPro Unlimited owns a lot of my gold.
yeah, yeah, I was selling everything. I was keeping pretty much everything that was like decent size picker or bigger, selling everything below that. Peter bags of some pickers and fines and stuff like that.
Ron, tell you what, the Wandering Buffaloes are gonna be with me on the 23rd of this month as my guests. Join us then, and you could ask them and get the answers from them right now. On the 23rd of this month. So you could get it straight from the buffalo's mouth, Ron, uh, because I know they're busy. I know they're both busy, and I couldn't give you an honest answer on that question. And getting ready to do the same thing, Jerry.
Yeah, I seen that. I think he's talking about the pay dirt.
Yeah, I know he's been selling some on Facebook.
Yeah, I seen some posts. Yeah, on Facebook. Hands full of gold. Damon did good this year.
I used to do what so many of us do. Um, I'd keep it all separated and know what came from where and have it classified fines, flakes, pickers, but nice display. But I'm like,
Yeah,
well, I can't eat it and it's not doing me no good just sitting there. So,
yeah. I would usually break it down and just by classification size and just separate it that way and have different vials of different sizes. But in the very beginning, I remember keeping different, nuggets from this trip or nuggets from this area, together like that. And
now, I do like what Damon does and like even Gary and Jeff, because Gary and Jeff they're pretty much partners, right? Gary and Jeff. So I like how Gary will weigh it out at the end of the day, bag it up, and then do his totals like Damon did for the end of the year.
yeah,
And Damon's been killing it sniping.
yeah,
So I
definitely
did.
has. I've watched him kill it underwater, put away from him this summer. It was very fun. That was an awesome trip. I actually have a whole video I started working on the other day that was that trip because I remember we went to that spot a couple of different times and I filmed. And I think that's what I was talking about where I'm missing some sound. So I
Uh,
might. see what I could do if I'm even going to salvage that video or not.
Hey, Kirk, how you doing? I had the privilege of me when I told you I was back in Washington and Otis let me stay at their house when I went to my mom's memorial service. Secret Creek Prospecting Kirk was one of the guys that came there to hang out with Otis and I and visit. Had a nice visit with Kirk.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. I met with him too.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Secret Creek.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he even gave me a ride one night down in my truck.
Cool, cool. It wasn't the Uber.
No, it wasn't that. That's funny. Are you talking about that Mountain Mike video where he pulls up the Mountain Uber, the door hanging off?
Um,
I must not have seen that one. No,
I don't
it's a
think I've seen that. It's something I got from Mike Vendetta
uh,
and JP. So Vendetta even made a Uber web page. I don't know. I'll have to pick his brains about it sometime and just call him up. Yeah, thank you, Gold Hunter. I like it. It's a comfortable hat. Adventures in Prospecting from Oroville. He's been on my show too.
from Oroville out here,
Yeah,
California.
yeah,
Oh, sweet.
yeah. He does pretty good videos. I believe that's the name of
Channel.
um, his he has a website, prospectingchannel.com, and he's done a lot of stuff with like Pat Keen and Chris Ralph and stuff. And but I believe the name of his prospecting store is actually Adventures in Prospecting, and it's in Oroville.
Hmm.
Oh, thought it was someone else prospecting for Adventures. Ah, well, that's still a cool name. Hey, Cricket, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Whoops. Yeah, we've had kind of a mild winter so far, but next week it's supposed to be single digits and below zero, minus digits coming up. So,
Yeah, we're supposed to get some snow too out here.
you know, Jerry, it wouldn't be so bad if I was still snowboarding and skiing every week. I haven't got a season pass in forever, but
Yeah,
geez. Then,
my
yeah,
my
go ahead.
brother, my brother does sledding or snowmobiling. That's he's big into that, and so this is a horrible year for him as far as snow goes because we just finally last Saturday got basically enough snow to ride up there for him. So, but it's supposed to snow multiple times this week. Like I think I'll have to look at the weather again, but I think there's like two different days that are kind of spread out where it's supposed to snow both days. So it's getting there. It's definitely it's been a dry winter so far. Fall, winter, hasn't really rained much. Hasn't really snowed much. At least out here, that is.
Have high winds and snow. Yeah, it's coming this way, guys. Just leave it there. If it makes it over the Sierras, leave it in the flippin' Rockies. We don't need it here in Ohio. I I I just I have 3 windows to replace at a Ohio State University extension office too. I just finished everything inside, and now all I have is windows to do. But I told
Ah,
them next time you see me, it's when the weather gets a little tolerable to switch
yeah,
out those windows.
windows.
So,
Gotta have a clear day for that.
right. Hey, Thomas. Sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. I saw you. I thought I highlighted your name though. There's another good dredger right there, Thomas Folks. You probably met him at at the nugget hunt this year too.
Thomas Pennyweight, folks.
Yes,
Gotta
Pennyweight.
say,
He was
say
there
the whole
last
thing.
year. He's a great guy. Proud to call him my friend. He's all okay, everybody, you better be ready. 2 silvers are gonna do it to you.
Bingo. Mine's all pretty. I got in trouble because I wasn't supposed to clean it.
Dano, don't worry, I bitched him out, Dano.
So pretty now.
It looks so nice. It looks so nice.
Uh, Funny. Got mine right here, Damon says.
That's right. Dano would be saying, damn well, Skippy, you better.
So I have my copper still, right?
Yeah.
And I got to give it to somebody, but I'll tell you what, I like this one because it's got the miner on it. It's hard to see, but I like this one with the miner. It's got like the old Western town and on the other side.
I like the minor
Pretty.
series, those copper ones too.
Yeah, it says prospector on it.
Yeah, but a good candidate for that would be Mountain Mike.
Yeah, that's funny. That's what I think I was at one time, I believe, going to give it to Damon. And then something happened where it was like, oh, but you got to give it to Mountain Mike. Like, why you don't want to piss him off? He's been here a lot. I've known
Well,
Mike longer than Damon for sure, and been hanging around Mike for a long time. And so we had a talk. I think Damon probably remembers that. And I'm like, I got to give it to him. And then someone, and I forget who gave Damon his copper, but
probably
Damon
Dano.
got one. Yeah, Damon got one either way, regardless. So
Right. Milwaukee Matt, how you doing? I met that guy on the river this year.
yeah, yeah, you're right. That copper is technically Mike's. It should have been Mike's a long time ago. It's been sitting here waiting for Mike.
Well, that you're giving it to someone like the Godfathers told you to do. So yeah, we wouldn't even be a vote for that. I don't think it'd be like, welcome to the Brotherhood, brother.
Yeah, there you go.
Now everyone who isn't part of that, don't think we don't love you and don't think we don't appreciate you and all of that, because we're all family. Yeah, I think
Yes, sir.
so, Damon. I think so. Damon says Mountain Mike deserves it.
Yeah, he does. I need to see him, man. He's like so elusive now. The best word to describe Mike lately. He's around, and I have seen him. Even I think that trip. Was Damon there on that one? No, that was a trip right before it. But I seen Mike this summer. We went to Pickers together, and Todd was there. Who else was there? There was a few people that trip. JC was there. So he does come out, but it's just he had another kid, so he just had a baby, and he lives in the mountains with his wife and a baby and another young kid, and just building his mansion of a cabin and just been busy.
Nice.
So
You know I love you, Brian Wilder. Gee whiz. Be like that way. Be that way. Oh, I hear you. It's pretty cold right now. At least uh, I so badly want to get out dredging and stuff, but at 62 years old, getting freezing cold isn't like it was when I was even 50.
gotta get a good wetsuit, Ed.
Or even
Yeah, right.
40. Well, I got rid of my 5 mil, and all I have is a 3 mil right now. If I still had my Farmer John 5 mil, that would give me 10 in the chest. And, you know, if
It's a
it
lot of
was a
mills.
dry suit, maybe. I do have my closed cell chest waders, so. But, you know, once you get a hole in the knee and closed cell, it's like getting a hole in a dry suit.
Yeah, I have a couple of suits, and I only wear the one that I wear every year lately has just been a 3 mil, and that gets me by. But by the time I'm wearing that, it's because the water's the right temperature.
Well,
So
when we went there, that's what I took with me, my 3 mil full suit. It's easy. Was just like a surfing wetsuit, you know. So
yeah,
it rolled up easy, it packed easy, it's light, fairly light, it dries fast. Um, I, but in the water here now with that wetsuit, no.
I, I have a nicer suit that I don't ever really wear, which is a 6 mil, and that
Oh,
one
there
fits
you
me
go.
even better. But it don't really need it because by the time it's, I mean, you could snipe, year round if you have the right equipment. But
Right,
here it's you don't even really want to snipe until the water is low enough, and by the time it's low enough, it's warm enough. So you
right.
know,
Don't need something that thick when it's
yeah,
warm enough.
you're not dredging, so it's not, you're just sniping, and yeah, right time of year.
Kevin, I picked up a new pair today. 5 mil for 25 bucks. Talking about booties?
Nice.
New pair?
That's something I need to buy this year. I need to buy some new water booty type creek river shoes. My last ones lasted longer than they normally do, so probably try to get the same ones. But it seems like I get a pair of river shoes every year or two.
I don't know, Matt. Uh, Before May, hopefully. Usually I try and get out in March, but shoot. If I had the right wetsuit, I have a good place I could go dredging right now. And like I said, if I was like Matt's age or even your age again, Jerry, I remember going out in Washington, trekking through like 2 feet of snow down to the river and be out in it Otis, I'd go back into South Fork Nooksack, Otis, and play on the South Fork Nooksack. Some decent gold up there. Ed, how much gold did you end up with last year? Nowhere near what you got, buddy. Nowhere near it. I didn't even weigh it. A few grams. Ask Jeff. He'd know. He bought them all. He bought it all. So I still have buckets and buckets of material I need to go through though. So there still might be gold too. I might have more gold for you, GoPro Unlimited, because I have to clean some. I still haven't done my clean up or clean up. Did my clean out a long time. You sent me some too, Ed. That's true. I did, David Villa. Yeah, yeah. I still have not gone through my indie cons. Yeah, I haven't gone through those either, Heath. Jerry, did you get the reflex
I did.
carburetor rebuild?
I did. It was funny. It ended up being that I needed what is it, the seat, the seat valve inside the carburetor, the actual seat. It must have been pitted or something because I changed every little thing in the carb out. Finally, I changed the actual seat. And that's what fixed it. It ran perfect right after I did that. And it's crazy how much of a difference that made. But yeah, it's all good to go. I was actually riding it. When was that? A couple months ago, up at the new property, kind of exploring a little bit on it, putting around. Yeah, it'll be nice to have up there too, because that where I'm at's not far from a lot of other areas. So I could always just put around on the bike, go all over. Brad Welch.
Yeah, he just said I would like to get a couple stickers from you, Ed. So I had to show him that. I just didn't want to show his mailing address. I have an envelope for Blue Lead and going to Honolulu, Hawaii. Some for Terry Marshall going to Victoria, Australia, and some for Brad Welsh going to Queensland, Australia. I'm just working on a daycare center right now, so instead of driving home and driving back to work after 5, I stay there, and I don't bring these with me because I figure, I'm not going to my post office, but I'll be working there tomorrow, so I'll have to kill an hour or two in Van Wert, so I could probably take them to the post office tomorrow. Hopefully they won't charge me an arm and a leg for them. It's ridiculous shipping stuff to Australia. Even Canada's ridiculous.
Yeah, shipping's crazy. Everything's getting crazy. Price of everything. It is.
Yeah, and you're right, David Villa. Now to mail them. That is the question. As soon as I can, buddy. And Damon, yes, I did have a great time while I was out.
Excuse me. Well, Ed, I don't know how much longer you want to go, but I have to use the bathroom really
Well,
bad.
it's about that time anyway, my friend. because I gotta
Yeah.
wake up early.
Yeah, what time is it over there? It's
It's
almost
almost
7
10
here.
o'clock.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah, I'm
usually
like,
that's when we about call it quits unless time flies by so fast and we get into overtime. I know you probably gotta pee. I know I gotta pee.
got in maybe
Because
about 30 minutes ago. I'm like,
I
no one
live off
goes.
coffee, y'all. Damon, good seeing you. Gold Hunter, Kirk, Brian, yes, I love you, brother. Brad, I'll put these in my briefcase so they'll be with me. So I'll make the time go by the post office. Hopefully it won't cost me a left testy or anything. GoPro Unlimited, all of you. Hobo
Yeah.
Rob, all of
Thanks all you
you.
guys for showing up.
Definitely. Jerry took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you all very much for showing up and hanging out for the last 2 hours. We
Yeah.
greatly appreciate it. Next week, I have my friend Raven from Ravenhawk Coins joining us. If you like stacking silver or you like coins, because they're treasure too, and I like coins and tokens. Um, Come join us for that. It should be a really good show, and Rose should be feeling better and back with us for that night. And until that, I'm not going to tell you any more who's the guests are. You'll have to come back next week to find out the following week's guest. But I got some good ones lined up, I think. And great guest right here. Thanks again, Jerry.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it,
Uh,
man.
all of you out there, thank you for being here with us tonight and being part of the Flash Fam. I greatly enjoy hanging out with you all every Tuesday night. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what I like to say, right, Jerry? Because it does
Yeah, it's been
happen.
a minute.
It does happen.
You're
Maybe
gonna see
one
me
day
on the river.
too. Yeah, close. Maybe one day too. We'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Till next week. We're out of here. Yeah, kind of glitchy there for a second. Thanks, everyone. Thomas, Jason, GoPro, Rob, Cricket.
5, 4,
I'll get a
3,
hold of you,
2,
Cricket.
1.
Brad, Terry Curry, Canadian Hillbilly. All of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.